Our special guest today at AICGS is Ralf Fücks. He is the president of the Heinrich Böll Foundation, a political foundation in Germany who is closely associated with the Green Party, which is currently the main opposition party in the German parliament. Ralf Fücks, welcome at AICGS.
Thank you.
Let's start, first of all, with the situation in Europe. We're just a few days before a key European election. And what's your assessment? Is the danger of extremist or anti-European parties gaining traction in the European Parliament really such a disruptive danger or potentially disruptive danger? Or how do you assess the situation?
I wouldn't name it disruptive because the right-wing populist anti-European parties are far from getting really political influence and political power, at least directly. Mm-hmm. They are politically at the fringes, they are marginalized, so they are not part of the decision-making process in Europe, but they are gaining public resonance, and indirectly they are able to change a little bit the public debate, the public discourse, so setting their issues, especially migration, to the center of the public debate.
Topics that are then picked up by mainstream parties as well.
Yeah, they are getting under pressure by these right-wing populists, especially when they are linking social issues, social anxieties in Europe. So these kind of, we are losers of the globalization, which is not the case in economic numbers, but it is a kind of, I would say, public prejudice. Mm-hmm. And we don't want to change our economic model like in France. Yeah, we want just to keep it like it was, which is hard to do. So they are articulating, I would say, the fear of change.
Mm-hmm. And why are mainstream parties so far not being able to provide an alternative narrative? Why are we hijacked in Europe at the moment by these fringe parties?
Maybe because the European governments and European political leaders over the last year did more react on political circumstances and events and crises. Of course, the crisis of the Eurozone mm-hmm. has been the overwhelming issue and challenge. So it was more crisis management than a kind of proactive, forward-looking policy. I would say there's a lack of vision concerning the future of the European Union after the constitutional process more or less failed, and we returned back to the governmental method. So the national governments are the driving force. Mm-hmm. They are the decisive political force in Europe. Of course, we have a stronger European Parliament than we had 10 years ago. But there is no clear vision about the future of political integration. There are, of course, different views. Should we go forward to a kind of federalist mm-hmm. European Union, or should we keep this double character, a union of states and a union of citizens represented in the European Parliament? And there's, I would say, a lack of grand projects in terms of economic modernization. Mm-hmm. This is quite important. Europe has been the leader in international climate policies. I wouldn't say it is still. It has lost momentum and lost energy in the metaphoric sense of the word.
And that's mainly due to the economic crisis.
Yeah, because in the economic crisis, kind of old thinking came back that going green, changing our energy system towards renewables and high efficiency technologies would be a burden instead of an opportunity. I think this is fundamentally wrong.
It takes too long, and it is too expensive in the current environment.
Yeah, but
I'm saying economic environment.
But on the other hand, it is providing a new push for investment and innovation, bringing Europe in the pole position of kind of green modernization of the industrial societies and making it a showcase for the emerging countries. In a global perspective, the environmental stability of our planet is depending from which course China and India and Brazil and the other emerging countries will take. Will they just try to repeat the old model of growth, or will they leapfrog towards high resource efficient economy based on renewable energy and sources? So, and I would say that there had been a window of opportunity for Europe to define the future of the industrial society, and we lost track over the last years. And the same is the case in other political areas like immigration. There's no real progress over the last 10 years in redefining our societies as immigrant societies, multi-ethnic societies.
What you describe is as if the Europeans, on many fronts, you describe them, further institutional integration, moving towards a different energy mix, renewables, and therefore fighting and addressing the challenges posed by climate change, on immigration. They all have started the process, but then got stuck in the middle, as if they decided to cross a river and are now stuck in the middle. What other dangers do you see? Do you think that slowing down the process would be okay as long as the direction of this journey continues to be the right one, or do you see that there are dangers of being stuck in a rot?
The direction itself is disputed.
Yes.
Meanwhile, we have, of course, very different views. Europe always has been diverse. Yeah, it is. So this demand Europe should speak with one voice is a little bit beyond European realities. We always will have very pluralistic interests, pluralistic traditions, pluralistic views, but we have to find common ground on some very basic and fundamental challenges. So economic modernization is one, and the Euro crisis is not only about debt. It is about losing economic competitiveness, not in Germany, but in France, in Italy, in Spain, in other places. Then it's about our innovation capacity. So, and another big challenge is the international role the European Union has to play. We have very different views on that. Should we engage more in international affairs? The development of a common European foreign and security policy has been, to put it mildly, slowed down over the last years. And so Europe is more in a state of reaction than of action. And I think this is a core problem.
Ralf Fücks, thank you very much.
Thank you.